Everyone, welcome back to the show. Me and the dog, we're back at it. Just feeling good today, everyone. All juiced up, ready for a good Monday. So let's talk about this, because I hear sometimes from people that I heard the sellers are supposed to pay for my closing costs as the buyer. Well, yeah, no, not really. Maybe, it depends, right? It's like the answer is not that clear. The first thing I can tell you is this. You should always be careful of who you listen to when it comes to real estate advice. It is much like anything, vehicles, guns, dog training, almost anything. Be careful of who you take your advice from, because most people have no freaking clue what they're talking about on like 90% of things that they talk about. They just read an article by a guy somewhere on the thing, and next thing you know, they're an expert. So are these sellers supposed to pay for your buyer's closing? You buy a dog house, are the seller supposed to pay your closing costs on the dog house? Well, the answer is it depends. It is that no is the answer. Are supposed to? No, absolutely not. The buyer is responsible for coming up with their own down payment and paying for their inspection and appraisal, and within that, closing costs, okay? Now, everything is to be negotiated, or can, I should say, can be negotiated, but no, you as the buyer are on the hook. That's like saying the seller's supposed to pay for you to buy their house. Well, like, no, you're buying their house. Like no, of course, that is the baseline standard. You're buying the house, therefore you pay for your closing costs. Now, here would be the exceptions to the rule. If it's a buyer's market, or even a balanced market where we say, hey, things go for sale, they don't necessarily sell immediately with 10 different offers that are 50 grand above the asking price, but they sell. It might take, a month. It could even take 2 months, right? They might, have a little wiggle room on their price. Cool. That is the kind of market where you could get these sellers to pay for your buyer's closing costs. Even then, it is negotiable. What you should understand about closing costs is that if I go to a seller, right? Let's say they're listing their house for 500 grand. And I say, hey, we'll give you 490 grand and we're paying for our own closing costs. That to the seller is the same thing as you saying, hey, we'll give you 500 grand for your house, but we need a $10,000 credit back to pay for our closing costs. At the end of the day, it's the same thing for the seller, which is they net 490. It's just, did you reduce my price by 10 grand, or did you say, we'll give you your price, but you're gonna pay my closing costs, which are 10 grand? At the end of the day, the money that comes to the seller in their proceeds, it's the exact same thing. So it depends. It depends, what is the market like? I can tell you this, for the last, 6 months ago, upwards of 2.5 years ago, basically from about this 2-year window from COVID until about 6 months ago, asking for a seller to pay for your buyer's closing costs was like a death blow. Like, stop, don't even do it. Just don't even write the offer. Like, let's not all waste the time even signing this stupid piece of paper, because it's a waste of everyone's time. Right now, yeah, things have changed a little bit. It's going to depend on your market, but hey, if a house has been sitting for 30 days and they've even done a price reduction of 10 grand, cool, that is a sign they don't have a lot of interest in that house. Which isn't to say that it's a good house, it's just to say that right now, per dynamics with interest rates, they don't have a lot of interest on it. That is a case where, yeah, you could probably get your closing costs covered. So the answer is it depends. But listening to your neighbor who talked to his mechanic who has a cousin that knows about real estate, the cousin's also an ex-con, but he knows about real estate, that it came to the mechanic, came to you, the neighbor, like, be careful where you take your advice from. That's what I'm saying. Just take your advice from people that actually know what the fuck they're talking about. So I hope you guys are doing well. We'll leave bourbon for a different time here and go ahead and wrap this video up. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel as we figure out what the hell this channel actually is and what it's going to be long term. But for right now, bringing you a couple videos a week. So, hey, you'll get some good info. These videos are not flashy or fancy or anything like that, but the information is helpful. So I hope you guys are doing well. Peace. Talk to you soon.